Let's do a bit of monstering here in the haunted graveyard, shall we? Now, these are distinctive dummies figures, and this is the first one in a series of videos I plan to do that cover my distinctive dummies collection. And these are the 1950s monsters. Start out with the alligator people. He's kind of in mid-change here with this figure. The big alligator head was cooler when they got changed all the way, but you know, this is pretty good. Did a really good job with this. I believe this is the first set of 4 of the 1950s monsters that Distinctive Dummies did. Artwork by Robert Aragon, package design by Triple B Designs. Anyway, this one has the Thing from Another World, Killers from Space, and Invaders from Mars. And I have this whole set right here. I'm going to show them to you up close. These Distinctive Dummies figures, by and large, are very well crafted. You know, there were a few hiccups here and there in their production, but pretty well crafted. Oh yes, these are limited. Let's see. This is number 20 of 50. That dark ink on a dark card is kind of a bad choice, but anyway, it's number 20 of 50. And I believe this first set came out around 2013. I don't remember for sure. Yeah, the alligator people, that starred Lon Chaney Jr. as the Hook Arm Cajun and the beautiful Beverly Garland, who was looking for her husband. But anyway, we move on to the Thing from Another World. Now that says 1/8 scale there. That's a misprint. These are 1/9 scale, and it says 1/9 on most of them later. These are 8-inch figures. They come in these clamshells. And here's the Thing. This is from I think it's from 53. Stars James Arness, not as Matt Dillon. He was a great Matt Dillon, but he also made a great vegetable monster in The Thing. One of the classic science fiction movies. Great figure of him. And again, artwork by Robert Aragon. And this is number 34 of 50. Yeah, these first sets, they had a limited run of 50. Later on, it went to 60, and in some cases more. So there is the Thing from Another World. And we go to Killers from Space. The ping-pong ball-eyed aliens. From some low-budget schlock that was nevertheless pretty fun. And Peter Graves collected a paycheck. He was James Arness' brother. And later he went on to star in Mission Impossible and such. But anyway, that's a cool figure of one of the ping-pong ball-eyed aliens. Killers from Space. 37 of 50. I bought all of these new when they first came out, and they were expensive new. You know, I think they were 75. They might have already gone to $80. The very first set of the Mego scale figures of these were 75 a piece. That was the hammer set. I'll show those in a later video. But I believe these were $80 a piece new. And like I said, you know, these came out about 10 years ago, I believe. Here is one of the weird mutant guys from Invaders from Mars. Another classic. Not 1/8 scale, it's 1/9 scale. That got changed later. 8-inch figure. Okay, now this one, number 12 of 50. Yeah, that dark ink on the dark card is a real bad choice, man. And there's one of his weird-ass weapons down there in the package with him. Pretty good sculpt on that head. Nice figure. Now, that's the first series of 4 of the 50s monsters. Now, either later that same year or the next year, they went to this second series. I guess it was the next year of the 50s monsters. This is the monster from Frankenstein's daughter, who looked like a big messed up dude. Never looked like a female at all. 1/9 scale. See, they fixed that then. 8-inch figure, 1/9 scale. And here are the 4 that are in this set. Hideous Sun Demon, the Fly, the Monster, and Bob, or Teenage Frankenstein. 56 of 60. Yeah, they were limited to 60 here in this set. And in the previous set, it had just been 50. So they had already gone to 60, and I believe they were firmly at $80 a piece by this point. Really glad I bought all of these when I did, back when I had the money. The secondary prices are what's scary for these things, when you can find them. There's always a bunch of these things on eBay, but it's harder to find these older figures. And when you do, some of them just, you know, they want stupid money for them. And what are you going to do? There are so few of them. If you want it, you pretty much have to pay it. 56 of 60. Made in Horrorland. I'm not going to go into who makes these and where they actually are, because the guy wants to keep it on the down low still, I think, so I'll respect that. And the Hideous Sun Demon. That's a cool monster. Not a great movie. It's a fun movie, but it's a very cool monster. Look at that sculpt. Paint job. Big ripping hands. Nice art. Dr. Gilbert McKenna, who turned into the Hideous Sun Demon. This is number 40 of 60. Really cool figure. And we already took a look at this one. So let's go to Bob, or Teenage Frankenstein, from I Was a Teenage Frankenstein. Now, another great one. Let's look at the sculpt up close. Now, a lot of people, you know, they like to take these out of the clamshell and display them and pose them and set up dioramas and things like that. And I respect that, you know, if that's your thing, man, it's cool. Artwork by Ron Gearing. Yeah, the art on these cards is really good. And there it shows the rest of them in the set. We've already taken a look at that. But I like to keep mine in the clamshells. And these clamshells are collector friendly. You can just pop them open and take the figure out and put them back without damaging the packaging or anything. And they're pretty tough, the clamshells are. So, yeah, I don't know if 30 of 60. I Was a Teenage Frankenstein. And here's the last one in that series. Andre Doam is the Fly. Nice art on the card there. You know, for these cards, I generally prefer the poster art. Sometimes you can't find good poster art, or it's harder to do than just commissioning some artist, I guess. But it was hit and miss on the artwork with Distinctive Dummies. Now, a lot of it was good. Some of it, not so much. Not going to disparage here. Not going to go into, you know, who didn't turn out great work. This is the last one of this one, 60 of 60. Yeah, see, that dark ink shows up really good on the lighter cards. On those dark cards, it just doesn't work. So anyway, this was one of the classic science fiction movies. We all know that Vincent Price was in it. He wasn't the Fly, of course, but he was a relative, you know. Played a prominent role in it. And it's one of several movies that really put Vincent on the map as a big-time horror icon. Great figure. Great figure. And that covers that series. Now, these are from a year or two down the road, maybe the next year. This is Tony Rivers, the teenage werewolf. Really cool, you know, he's got his denim pants and appropriate clothing. Great sculpt. I raised his arm so he was, you know, coming at you, man. Yeah. And we won't mention too much about that art, but one night scale figure, Michael Landon. And I have 3 of the 4 of these figures. I'm going to show, this is from like a werewolf series. I never bought the Etoile from The Legend of the Werewolf, but I have Andreas and Valdemar Daninsky. Had to get Daninsky. I'm a huge Naschy fan. So anyway, I'll be showing those in a later video in this series. And this is number 21 of 60, it looks like. Yeah, there are some of these that on the secondary market, they just don't show up. You know, they made so few of them to start with, and a lot of people like me, they're not going to part with them, man. Now, this is from a favorite movie, Monster on the Campus. Professor Donald Blake, who regresses, devolves into a Neanderthal / caveman. One night scale figure, appropriately dressed, hatchet on point. Let's take a look at the sculpt. Got some hair sticking up through the ripped shirt. And that's number, looks like 54 of 60 on that one. And I did not buy any of the other ones in this series. I bought a lot of DD figures back in the day. But some of them I just had to pass on because they were so expensive. I mean, they were 80 bucks a piece, these Mego scale figures. And, you know, some months you just don't have it extra. So I grabbed what I could, and I'm glad I did. Don't have them all by any means. I doubt if anybody does. I guess that's from Incredible Melting Man, and of course that's the Wasp Woman, and this is the Manster. And you know, I like all those movies fine, and I wouldn't mind having the figures. I don't, and there's no way on the secondary market that I'm going shopping. So got what I got. I enjoy having them. I hang them on the wall. I look at them. Now I'm doing a video. Okay, that will do it for my 1950s monsters for Distinctive Dummies. This is part one of a series of videos on distinctive dummies. I think now it might be like 5 parts. So that'll do it for this time. See you guys later with more DD monstering.